What's up, guys? We are back here for another live stream, and I'm gonna see if I can get the chat pulled up. Been having a little bit of difficulties with these links launching. I can't see this video yet. I'm having trouble finding it as well. That's streamed. How do I get home? Where is home? Give me a second, guys. Still trying to get this pulled up so I can see you guys in the chats. Hopefully I can figure this out. I'm having a lot of technical issues with YouTube recently. Here it is.
It is okay to be so stressed and overwhelmed that you feel like
sound off. That looks good. See if anybody's in here. Anthony, thanks. Appreciate it. Hopefully we have a decent round. I was going to, a couple of you guys in here, give you guys a couple minutes. I'm also going to share this with the notebook group. So if you guys in the chat feel like helping people find the video or whatnot, I just posted it to the notebook group. Hopefully we get a few people in here just to kind of hang out and go through, play some holes. I'll do as much as I can. Maybe should hopefully be able to finish these. Just going to try to barrel through them a little bit more than anything. I can show you how we finished up yesterday. It was a 27, not bad. Very similar front and back. So basically I got the same holes except for the albatross. I wasn't able to get. I tried to go in for a rough bump on it and was not able to get it to fall, unfortunately. What's up, Ryder? Zorro? MBS, is it? Yeah, appreciate seeing you guys as well. Hopefully you guys are having good weekend rounds. If you guys have already played Quad 4, nice seeing you again. We are going to try to just go through, see what we can do. I haven't seen any of the wins or anything, so going to be very similar to yesterday where we just kind of hope for the best. And I wasn't gonna put too much emphasis on practicing or anything. Just kind of go in, kind of do the best that we can. I remember I tried to go hook slice on this one. It was a little aggressive. This wind almost seems to favor maybe hook slice. I don't know if that's the way that you guys have been doing it. It seems like you're going to have more trouble getting this one over to the right enough. Otherwise, I'm worried about hanging this out to the left if I don't go hook slice. But we'll see. I'll try to keep on a side spin 3-ball. Try to get it as far as possible to the right. Assuming that this lands far enough. Let me see what kind of ball this is. Okay, power 4. I'd imagine my power 3 is going to make it there. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I could be wrong. I'm going to watch his shot for sure, just to make sure. He's coming in a little bit. I'm kind of glad that I get to see this person's shot. It just gives me an idea. Where does it land? Okay, so it does make it. And it looks like that got right enough. So we should be good. It looks like you just have to land very right. So the hardest part is landing right enough, which is a little risky. My wind's only 7, which that's cool. Of course, I didn't see how much spin he had. I know I could. Thinking maybe 3 to 4. Might go just a little bit more since he was short. We're going to go about 1 per ring. push back up here. Just try this, see what this looks like. A little bit late on my timing. Let's see where it lands. Looks like it lands pretty good. Similar to my opponent. We did get it up on the green. That looks pretty good. Maybe just needed one more great ball to the left, and we had it. That's a pretty good effort there, I think, especially for just winging it. I was kind of using yesterday's because I know it should have ran out very similar to yesterday's when I tried to play hole 1. And I used that from my memory. I think I used about 3, maybe 3.5 topspin on hook slice. And this one was about 4. Let's see how many people. We got about 15 in here. Thanks for showing up, guys. We're just kind of going through the holes, just kind of playing around. I'm not too familiar, so this is definitely my first attempt on these new pins. Well, whatever. Wednesday was my first attempt on these new pins. So I played Wednesday. I played yesterday. Shot a 27 yesterday. So I'm hoping to be able to maybe finish this off and do very similar. I know there's a couple new faces in here. Good question, Anthony. I haven't talked to Danny too recently. I know that he has a lot of things going on, and for all that matter, I feel I do as well. So, I'm totally open to do whatever. Just need to find some time and probably schedule it in advance. So, if Danny or anybody else, if they do want to kind of collab or do something, we can kind of set up a time and maybe just plan for it out in the head, a week or 2 in advance. One of those type things. It's probably going to just make it easier on both of us. Whoever it is, I'd imagine, everybody's, pretty busy. So just trying to find some time and life balance is the best we can do sometimes. That's one of the main reasons, I have no, real ability to come back and play this game full time and commit to it the way that I used to in the past. Is just not in the cards. And I imagine a lot of people in the same boat. This is interesting here. I have yet to set anything up. I'm thinking about I'm going to need to go about 10 rings, I feel. I'm just going to kind of maybe wing this, actually, because I just don't think I have the time. Keep this ball guide a little bit long. Let me go at least 10 rings here. Maybe a little bit more. We'll see if that means OP or not. Does not. We're going to go plus 10. Maybe even just a little, keep it towards a couple clicks. You can see we wanted to make sure that we landed it far enough. I knew it was going to cut to the right, so you saw I kept the ball guide to the left, but it cut even harder than I expected, unfortunately. But you can see all in all there, pretty decent effort. I knew it was going to do that, and I still couldn't. Just from, playing this hole over the years, I just kind of know the way that the wind points. It just kind of causes the fairway to accentuate on headwinds. So it's like if you keep it a little bit to the left with the ball guide, it's just going to cut to even harder to the right after the wind affects it. So that's the best advice that I have. You can see my opponent here, keeping the shot. Like, I feel like there's some way, in some fashion, you have to find a way to counter that. So regardless if that means, you're using some kind of left spin, it looks like he is using a little bit of left spin, or left curl, I mean. But I don't even know. And his landed well short, too. And you can see he didn't factor enough rings there because he was trying to land way north on the fairway, and then where his landing spot actually was very close to where mine was. So needed to play a completely different shot there, or number of rings or something. But also the way that I missed to the right, I'd imagine his shot would have landed as well a little bit to the right, even going the proper number of rings there. But I did see just a tiny bit of left curl in that shot. What's up, Amjad? Tommy, Caleb? Good to see you guys in here. Just kind of working through these. Going to see if we can kind of get some things rolling. Headwind again on this one. I forget what I did. So yesterday was a rough bump. I'd imagine have to stick with the rough bump or some fashion. I don't think you could do like a full backspin shot. You're just going to send it off the green, I feel. You have to do a rough bump on this. So we'll keep Falcon. We'll keep a Kingmaker, I guess. Lumineer is probably a good ball for this. One thing I'm a little unsure of is, are we going to stay in short iron range? It's probably questionable, or it's probably close. So how is everybody doing today? You guys have any good weekend plans, or just play some Golf Clash? Try to play through your tournament rounds? Hopefully, I have yet to finish one of these at all. So that was my goal today, was to come on stream for you guys and just try to finish one of these experts. So every single one that I've done, when I came on here and did some streams for you guys, I did not do the weekend round every single time. So I have a lot of like 100th place, 95th places probably popping up in here. Yeah, a ton of these. Ton of these. It doesn't even show where you finish, but I've had trouble just coming on and finding the time, especially on the weekends. The way I feel the weekends are so hard. I imagine a lot of people are in the same boat. Is this leading me to believe you can't even get to the other side? Is that really a thing? It does look like Lumineer. I gotta be able to easily make it. Let's go here. One per ring or so. Good amount of curl. Wow, that landed a bit lefter than I expected. You can see as a result, we're in the rough. I don't think that's a deal breaker. Not too concerned about that. I know why that happened. It's that wind. It's a concept that I totally forgot about, which is basically the gist of why that's to the left is when you go full curl and the wind is straight in the face, especially pointed to the left, it's going to resist curling back to the right. So it's only going to curl half as hard. And I totally forgot about that and didn't even factor it in. And usually, and especially when you do hook slice, that's the type of wind where hook slice is probably like 13 rings there instead of the usual double. This is 40-some percent. This has been a brutally hard rough bump shot. I've had absolute zero success with this whatsoever. So I'm not really expecting much from this other than first and foremost, I'm going to try to not screw this up horribly. Is pretty much goal number one. Another perfect ball. Ah, just missing to the right. I know it comes back off that slope. What I tried to do yesterday is I actually tried to play that back door, that little, instead of going straight at the hole, I did try to play that little curl in at the end. Maybe I should have done that here. I kind of forgot about it until I actually saw that ball roll back down the hill. That's how I played it yesterday. It still didn't go in, but I'd say anything not in the rough here is good. But I wonder if you do great ball to the right, if it just curls down the hill into the hole. Let's see if it does. It does not. So that's a little sucky. It's like I feel that pin is definitely hard. I can imagine the frustration of guys who wind up in the rough there and then see that great ball, and it's like I feel like they kind of robbed a stroke from me a little bit. What's up, Don? How's it going? I'm pretty sure this is, reminiscent of 2019 for sure. It's definitely not my norm to be live streaming, but figured I'd come on, just see what you guys are up to, and just try to work through some holes. Every now and again, I pop on here. Still like to, get back to some of the community that, just the whole fact that, we can get even 20 guys interested in actually me coming back and just kind of hacking it up in an expert tournament. It's pretty cool. So glad that, I kept good contact and, was able to establish a good foundation of really genuinely good people over here. I'd say for the most part, the people that reside in Golf Clash Notebook, they're pretty good folk. They're definitely the type of people that you would definitely consider yourself lucky to know. So it is cool to see, communities come together and be able to all have kind of a common interest like Golf Clash. And with that being said, that's what we're here doing today, is just kind of hanging out and just kind of catching up. If anybody has anything interesting to say, I'm definitely on the chat and just kind of seeing what you guys are up to. So let's see what we can do on this one. I'm expecting tailwind, this to be B52. I'm not sure how many rings I'm going to go. I'm thinking maybe plus 10% or something. I'm not too hopeful on this shot. I expect this to be pretty difficult with a Kingmaker. But let's see what we can do. Even this Guardian shot here, I think this is still difficult. Oh, I wound up just this morning, just for those of you who seem to keep up with this type of thing. I ended up joining a clan, just like somebody that like it, but it's like I had no idea what they're about or anything. I just joined just to give myself a couple extra bags, and they sent me a club invite basically, so I just accepted. I don't know. I don't know if they'll end up kicking me from inactivity or whatever. No hard feelings either way. I was going to try something to the effects of this. That looks pretty good. Max plus 10. Something's not right here. That's what it is. I'm like, yeah, this doesn't look right. 6 rings? I don't think so. That's terrible. It's got to be. It's not as bad as I thought. when I saw how long it landed, I was a little concerned. I could tell it was probably going to miss left. I definitely missed left. Great ball right, that was probably in. I didn't expect it to land that north. That means I definitely underplayed rings, without question. So at least plus 20% there. The only reason I went plus 10 is because I'm pulling away from max. And I was pulling to lower elevation. So I kind of did a little underplay from what I would typically do in that situation, which would, say it was a side wind, I'd probably be going like plus 30%, something like that. But yeah, a little bit light there. Ooh, that's brutal. That's a thinker right there. I guess we're going Lumineer. I'm half tempted to try for the second fairway, but I know that that's probably very risk reward. You can get that checkup bounce where it won't want to roll through the rough. So I'm hesitant to do that. Remind me on the tee to switch bags. Because I know, I kind of feel like going back to my bag and setting up the right one, but I also don't feel like doing it. So I need to make sure to put on cat before my second shot. A lot of times I'll get in chat mode, or that's why I prefer to go into the hole prepared as opposed to the alternative. And then you go second, so you're even more prone to forget. First, it's a little bit easier to make that mental note. Catching up on the chat, Tommy. Pretty nice place. I moved into an apartment. I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. I don't know if I'll end up staying or not, but I do really like it. It's really nice. Oh man, that seems like robbery. So he just clipped the rough on the first bounce, and then it just went into the rough on the second bounce. That's brutal. Brutal. I almost did it, but I did remember. Man, I do not like the look of this at all, let me tell you. I should have paid attention to what ball they did and everything they did, because, of course, they clipped the rough. I was going to go about 9 rings. What is this, plus 31, right? That's what I thought. I'm going to try this, and we'll just blast it. Maybe just a tad of right curl. Avoid that tree. Ah! Should have tad curled it, maybe just a hair more right. Don't clip the tree. Don't clip it. Ah, it clipped it. But it did hang pretty close to the left, which that's good. That's got to be pretty decent that it stays so close to the left. So I think that was a good miss. Probably not the greatest miss I could have done, but I'd say it was a pretty good one. I would do a hook slice if I was this person. Hook slice it with the hook and try to get it to that second fairway. A little bit harder to do this one this way. It would require a lot of cut spin. Cut that spin back as hard as you can to the left this way. That's definitely the shot I would do, is what I would have done where he just was and did a hook slice. And doesn't want to, or hook slice it this way. This is actually the preferred way. This is much easier to do. Full power. Go full power. Hopefully this winds up making it. Let's see. That's why I would have went full power, but it did work out. I was able to. I don't know about you. Have too much confidence in my ability to play this game. If you think I'm making this one, oh man. Seven rings. I know what I kind of want to do, but I just don't think I can execute it. I think the odds of this being anywhere near where it needs to be is pretty low. Perfect. Let's see what it looks like. Hopefully the second bounce is on the rough. Ah, that's too much rough. Ah, looked pretty good. Just not the greatest execution. Yesterday on the back nine, we had another tough wind like this, and I actually ran it through the green. So I tried to do an iteration where I take off a little path. That was actually going right for the hole. It was actually a pretty good effort. Just needed to get a little bit better play. So I did. This is what it is. That it's probably my mistake. I'm on power 3 ball. I was kind of in power 3 mode. I probably should have went a solid extra ring or something. It's probably my own fault. That could have been a lot closer. But I know it also plays uphill. So, and if it wasn't for yesterday's shot, I would have played that better. Yesterday's shot talked me out of, I mean, I still made the pitch. It was just on the fringe, but I tried to do it to where it came in, hopefully at a little bit better speed, potentially made it, and just didn't execute very well. Yeah, I agree with that, Don. Just grab the eagle, and that's why, I was like, there's no way this is going in. I knew I had no chance. But with that being said, I think I actually gave it a good line. I could have made that. Just a little bit of overpower on that line might have been it. Man, I wonder if this wind is enough in the direction. I used to play this shot over. I don't know if that wind angle is quite good enough. It's close. So, does anybody in the chat know of anybody in expert mode who has got to the other side on their final round? I don't know if it's possible on that wind angle. I know it's close. I can kind of bail out from this because I first off, I don't think I can even pull the shot off to begin with. So there's that, but if anybody has seen somebody pull this shot off, that'd be good to know. But we might go for it, we might not. It's just really going to depend on what I see, the conditions, and what it looks like. I definitely prefer the wind pointed the other direction. So much more left wind as opposed to right wind. If my wind is as flat as his, I'm not even going to try this. I can already tell you. So if that's my wind angle that they're giving me, I'm not even going to do it. I feel like it's just too flat. And when you're aiming in the water, it just like short lands. I don't really feel comfortable with that. $10 and $11, is that what you're saying? What could it be? So that's a relatively low wind, unless I was to go berserker. So you're saying maybe berserker, I can pull this off, you think? Let's see what it looks like. This is tough. I don't know. I really don't think I can do this shot, but we'll do it. Why not? Let's horribly mess up this round. I think that wind's just too small. This is... Wait. I always mess this up. I always mess this ring count up. This is no rings adjusted yet. 5. This is going to short land. I already know it. There's no way this is going to work out. I'm not even adjusting the right way. I had to bail out, and I don't even know how this is going to work out, but I had to completely change the spin so I don't go in the water, foremost. I wasn't even going the right direction. So as soon as I realized I'm not going the right direction, like I had to completely bail out of the shot and at least try to salvage birdie out of this. I was probably going to go about, I would say, 20 rings, but then I started going left and I needed to go right. So, oh well. I always do that when you're going hook left and wind is right, I always start adjusting the wrong way on accident. Let's see what this looks like. So I think I can land on this fairway. Not sure about this one. Five rings, a little bit more power than that. Let's do this. I don't know if that great ball's good. Yep, it's not gonna be. Stay. Just in the rough. I knew I was probably okay, great ball right, maybe. It really needed to be perfect there. I'm still relatively close. I think I can make this. I might be able to get away with a dunk on this as well, which I'm contemplating. Let's see what a two ring with two rings looks like here. Yeah, this is okay. I can't center circle it, but I should be able to be early on my timing here and make this, I think. So early is okay. Great ball right is okay. I think both of those will go in. So there is we salvaged it. Kind of just get out of that situation. As you can see, I wanted to play it aggressive. Failed miserably, but did what we could do. It would have been nice to have got that perfect ball. We wouldn't have been in the rough. It might have actually been pretty close. A decent shot had we been able to pull off that perfect ball in that rough shot. But thanks, guys. Thankfully, we were able to. Yeah, Don, with the pulling the wrong direction. It's the only time I do it is when the wind is against the hook slice. So when the wind points right and you're trying to hook left, I almost always instinctually I just start going the wrong way, and it's like, whoops. This par 3, we are going to set up the right bag. Wait, I don't even think I can use a wood, though. Can I? I don't know. I can't remember. I feel like it's going to be real close to the min club here. I feel like this is going to be a hard shot. Not a fan of this one. Oh, great. I get to go first. Yep, I figured that was going to happen. So this is going to be fun. Wrong club. 12-5. 12-5. And We got to keep the backspin off. Something like this, maybe. 12-5 rings, but 12-5 B52 rings. Not a fan. Not a fan of this wind. I don't know how many I've gone. Maybe really hard to say. Just go here. There's very little chance of being any good whatsoever. Overpulled, got a little nervous. Wanted to make sure that I didn't mess this one up too horribly. This is another way to play it, but I almost feel like if you're going to do it this way, you need more wind reduction. Because what's going to end up happening, this is just going to be like a stop shot where that third bounce needs to stop right on the hole. It's just too hard to do. So that's the reason I didn't play it this way. I at least feel my way, it's going to roll out. Potentially you can make the shot. This one's just like, you need that third bounce right on the hole, or else it's just right in front of it, an inch in front of it. Just very tough to do. See, we got 30 some in here. Thanks for showing up, guys. Hopefully you guys did catch wind of my notebook post. I did make one just to kind of coordinate, see who popped in. Let's see if anybody commented on it. They did not, but there has been a couple people that have seen it. Okay, so what are we on pace for? 13, 12, depending on how easy 9 is. We know we're probably not getting this one, right? This is a decent wind angle, though. It's not terrible. What do we want to do? Is it a Guardian bag just in case? I almost think doing Guardian intentionally with Tsunami bailout, just in the event we drive it too far. I definitely find this pin location to be harder than the other pin location. But maybe with more repetition, this one becomes easier and easier. I don't know. This is probably the hardest wind because I feel like it's counter the slope. And you're also pulling off the green to a higher elevation. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But that's just kind of what I envision in my head is going to happen. Of course, I get to go first. Great. Oh, I forgot that I was going to have Thor's Hammer Driver. Rookie mistake. I did not want to do this to myself. And it's going to be a tailwind, even worse. Oh, you're going to be pulling down into that sand. That's what's going to happen. That might clip the rough. We'll see. Nope, it's good. It almost feels like I should lay up even shorter than that because that's probably like dangerously close to the threshold of Guardian Tsunami. It's like you should just force that drive shorter to make sure that you're Guardian, I feel. But let's see. Nice fit. Yeah, so I know the other funnel pretty well. This one I'm not as versed with. And with the tailwind. So yesterday I thoroughly messed this one up because I expected it to kind of land short and then it didn't. And I wound up over the back. Blah, blah, blah. This is actually good. This is... The only issue is I kind of want to get to Tsunami because I'm worried about stopping this Guardian. Could be wrong. Let's see. I think I want to get this just pointed a little bit more to the left. Of course, I couldn't come prepared. I'm going to play close to max. 7, 4... Very close to that. Keep it just a little bit long since I am pulling down. Ah, really? Let's see if that is a good or a bad thing. I have no idea. It's definitely not a good thing. First great ball. It felt forced. It did not feel like me at all. Hopefully that didn't mean I was going to make that, and then they just took it away from me. Because it definitely felt like a forced grade. And that's the first time that in this entire tournament I've had that feeling to where it just skipped over perfect on me. All yesterday, I didn't have one instance of anything like that, and then all of a sudden, there it is. So what I always try to do, you can see he's using a lot of that guide towards the hole. I mean, you know, maybe you get this to fall, but I feel like what happens is the wind forces the line to the right. So you need some kind of curl back. So what I was doing is kind of intentionally putting the guide to the left because knowing that the guide is going to change to the right. But so sure enough, that didn't do it. Like it actually just legit just goes in. If it didn't go up that funnel too much, I was dead in. Yep, sounds about right, Don. Right? It's our fault, not it's not the game. And honestly, I don't even think it's their server. I literally think it's code that they built in to just make great balls happen. Like it's 100% like intentional. And the biggest reason that well, there's two main reasons that I think that. A was our needle trainer in the Golf Clash Notebook app. So our needle app, there's no way that you can have the needle skip unless you design it to skip. You literally need to give it instructions to skip, which we didn't do. So you'll see that our needle, well, before all those there was flutter upgrades that need to be done, so you might see some instability in our needle now, but that's just because it just needs a flutter update, which we haven't bothered with because honestly, the needle simulator it is what it is. It is a simulation. It's not really reminiscent of exactly what they have in game, so that's one of the main reasons, to not we don't really want people to say, oh, your needle trainer should be exactly like the needle. So it's like that's why it really hasn't been updated. But the other reason that, I know that, they specifically kind of designed the needle to do what it does, ultimate golf. Like, you will not have a great ball over there. Like, they designed a fluid needle. They want the game to play with a fluid needle. They're not trying to make you hit great ball. The challenges over there are different challenges. It's a little bit harder to use the clubs, a little bit harder to understand the physics. That's one of the reasons that it makes it a little bit challenging for Golf Clash players to play Ultimate Golf, is because of that fact. But with that being said, they're not doing anything regarding the needle whatsoever. Like, if you miss your ultimate shot on Ultimate Golf, you did something wrong, period. So let's see how much this rolls out. I was a little bit conservative. I don't want to wind up in the rough. I feel like that's the mistake that you must avoid is, trickling into the rough by 1 foot. There's always two bounces that, there's that checkup bounce and then there's the long roll. And you really never know which one's coming. So you have to be safe for the long roll. And then, of course, I probably should have hit the Thor's hammer. I don't even know why oh, you know why? I would have had to bring, because I don't have a Thor's hammer cat bag. But yeah, it probably would have been much wiser for me to use the Thor's hammer there. So let's see what this looks like. 8-6, 8 rings. I would say at least 8 rings since we're going full OP. So there's 5. Keep it just a little bit short, just in case I great ball. But there we should be good. What do I need? Falcon for this? I'm actually going to set it up ahead of time. Probably guarantee that I'm missing, since I'm being proactive about this. Yeah, that's kind of a perfect example, Don. Do you think Ankit would really great ball? Like, it's kind of like me. I feel like there's almost no way, like maybe on a full fast needle like this, like I can see myself great balling, but there's very few instances where I'm like, oh yeah, I just released wrong. Like, there's no way I've released wrong in this game. There's a couple cases where I know I do it, and it was just kind of like a mental blip, but it very, very rarely happens. This is 50% club. I don't think I need to play wind effect too much. Maybe a cup's worth or something. Very, very negligible. 50 club, somewhere like that. 6 rings straight up. Sure enough, right into the cup there. I feel like I shouldn't jinx myself, but I've got this hole every time. Now I know I'm not going to get 18. But with that being said, I'm doing some pretty decent execution on this, and I'm Very happy with that. It does suck that now I just missed 18 because I said that, but let's see. Oh, that's in two. So 2 for 2. We both got it. I think that's the first opponent that I've actually played that got it. So I can tell that hole is playing somewhat difficult. I mean, maybe not for, really, really expert players, but for the common player, that hole is playing pretty difficult all around. This is wind in the face. So what does that mean? Can we do Lumineer and get to that? I wish I knew the answer. Can we do Lumineer and make the second fairway? I feel like the answer is no. It's hook slice. That's the answer for this wind. It's got to be hook slice. It has to be. And this is another opposing wind, so that means I need to go left. I need to make left movement. I think I got this. We played this in opening round? I forget. Oh, if we played this in opening round, I just played a normal shot. Maybe I should just do that. And I made the fairway pitch is what I did. I feel like maybe I should do that. That's probably the safe thing to do. But we're live streaming, so we're not doing it. I'm going to try to land here, I think. And I said I need to go left. So there's my ring adjustment. And then left 20 rings. No, not 20. Go less than that. Go 18. Let's see if that's remotely decent. It's not that good, but it's not that bad. I probably should have went a few less rings. I kind of knew it. And I almost made the adjustment. I was like, there's no way it's going to go 20 rings. There's no way. It definitely didn't. That would have totally got there. This is the way that I played it the other day. Was I just played it full OP, or because I think I'm glad that Christian pointed that out. I'm pretty sure we did play this in the opener on the back nine, and this is exactly how I did it. I just top spun the crap out of it and then made the fairway pitch from the front of the green. But with the hook slice, you can get to the hole. That's the key. So I think hook slice is the way to do it. This is just improper execution. I'm going to try to make this. I'm going to do something to the effect of this. Oh, shit. I don't know how far this is, though. What is that, 30, 40% or something? Let's estimate and say that. I feel like I'm going to miss this pitch, and I shouldn't. Looks good to me. Barely outside the edge. That's got to be right. So sure enough, we are good to go there. Let's see if my opponent can make this. This is and this is what I remember, and that's why I was so kind of happy. Oh, this is a good way to play it. This is the way I used to play these when they were very close to min club. This is like what, 2 rings, 2.1 rings or something. Very, very makeable shot as well. You just got to get. Ooh, he's not even using precision. Let's see if this goes. It looks good, so I think it has a chance. Oh, he went too much. That was in. Tough break. Oh, what's up? What's up, Jeff? Yeah, it has been a while. I've seen you a little bit, Discord, or been seeing you a little bit. Hopefully it's all well with you. I've just been keeping pretty busy. Haven't played too much golf clash. Haven't played too much golf in general. Definitely for a while there, I was doing some, especially the showdown format on Ultimate Golf. I've definitely been trying to help their community out grow to be kind of the way the golf clash community is. So those showdown events over there, they're all fixed wind. They are all, practice enabled, stuff like that. So it's a really good golf clash friendly format. And I've definitely tried to, at least the best that I can, help them grow that. But it's tough. It's, completely different games, completely different customers. Like, some are golf purists over there. They don't kind of want all of that stuff. And then some are like golf clash players, and they're like, oh yeah, like I can totally relate to this. So it's a very mixed bag. And I am not nuts about this wind. Two tough wins. I thought 2 was bad. This one's even worse. I hate pulling down into this bunker. Absolutely hate it. This is where win 5 balls, huge advantage. That's exactly what my opponent has. Win 5. My ring adjustment going to be completely different from theirs. I'm thinking of going +5. It's going to short land on me. Nah, let's go +10. There is the precision ball we talked about. I definitely do think that they, tuned the needle, especially to kind of pitch more precision. Kind of sucks. It is what it is. Like, you either want to invest in this game and do the precision balls. I feel like it kind of divides things because it almost forces you to. Like, if you don't, like, it's basically like, do this or else don't compete. And that's kind of a tough position to do. Make people do it, kind of. It's not necessarily the best way to do it. I think this is going to short land. 8, 9. Perfect ball. Ah, man. So I kind of intentionally put that to the right, and obviously I put it too much to the right. Usually on tailwinds, ball guide stretches out. It makes it go more forward as opposed to right. And it did not do that in that situation. So obvious misplay by me, misunderstanding of what the shot was going to do. It still broke to the right, which I feel it shouldn't have, but it did. Also, could have been my pull angle. I tried to keep maybe just a little bit more inside than I should have because I knew that it was just going to kind of stretch out naturally, the ball guide. So I was trying to keep it from stretching out too much. Misplay, either way. Ooh, ooh. Not a huge fan of this wind, but not terrible. I'm just worried about the second shot more than anything. Second shot's going to be tough. Drive, not so hard. Yeah, so I can use a scent ball. I just don't have a lot of scent ball. Well, I probably have about 100. I could use it. The only reason I don't, I don't know, stingy with ball, like trying to use these up because I have them. So it's just kind of laziness on my part. I feel like honestly, once I run out of balls, like there's like 0% chance that I'm like coming back to Golf Clash to do content. So for longevity purposes, like the more that I have balls, the more inclined that I am to. And I feel like kind of like, especially when we're talking about scent, like I think expert is a little bit too easy for scent balls. I feel like these shots, and I feel like I can make all these shots. I just can't make all these shots because I don't, I can't rehearse enough. I don't have practice attempts, stuff like that, or practice accounts. So I feel like I can make it with KM, and then, obviously I don't, but that's like the mindset that I have. Oh, yeah, I can easily make that. I knew I could be early, so I kind of went early intentionally. I probably should have just went for perfect ball. But nevertheless, it's still okay. Not looking forward to this pitch. This was a similar angle to expert. I think maybe expert back in the opening. And I was not a huge fan of this. That's exactly what happened. So I had the ball guide up on the green, and then it just curled back off of it. So very tough pull angle. So much elevation change. I feel like definite win 5 ball. Yeah, so he pulled backwards, I can see. He pulled back to try to restore that elevation. Let's see how well he does here. Look at that barrel. That barrel ball's huge. So you can see that was, oh, wow. Wow. They must have overpulled rings. I'm not sure what happened there. Because that was, even with the great ball, that should have still felt some fairway. What is that, about 80%, 75%? Of course, why prepare yourself ahead of time if you don't have to? Let's just waste all of our clock here. This is just so dirty. All of these spots just literally suck. Curling. Come on. Yeah, Yeah, that's cool, Don. I did the same thing. Like that's the only reason that I feel like I am sustainable to even be playing right now. And when I came back last year and did some tournaments, I think I've worked through maybe about half of my KMs at this point. So I, eventually am gonna run out of KMs just by using them all. But the hopes is that at least I have still some of those quality balls. So if I do need, like a last hurrah, so to speak, at least I have some quality stuff to do it with. And I also think converting these into cents or what's the other one? KS balls is a good thing. Now, of course, I didn't do the best job of keeping this account up. My biggest problem was it got because yeah. So the only thing I can win here is KM. So this is actually kind of good for my KM. I think I can get. Well, this is no. It's probably going to be net. I don't think I'm going to get a top 10. Maybe I could, but I doubt it. That's the only way that I get a net gain from this tournament. But what I had been doing for a while is just converting them into better balls, KS balls, luminate. Well, but then there's also the times that I fail miserably, and maybe get 3 KS balls for 60 KMs that I used. Like, was that worth it? Probably not. Yeah, Don, that is a very great point. The reward system for C100 is pretty laughable, realistically, because basically they're encouraging you to use. I mean, what are guys using? Literally. I mean, are we saying 100 balls on average a week to win back 25? Why do that? Like it doesn't. It's like anti-logic. That's how bad the cent rewards are. And I think if anything, they should have just maybe gave you an extra stat somewhere for what the cent ball is. It should be 444, for example. Just a little bit, like make it a little bit more appealing. But it is what it is. This is 0%. Oh, this is definitely wrong. This is at least 15, 20% plus offset. We got time. I got all day. Where did I miss? Is it right? That's my guess. I missed right. Sure enough, all I needed was a great left and it had a chance. $29%. You're probably right. I probably should have done 29%, Tommy. That probably was in. Your mistype was probably correct. It's either that or I just had to offset a little bit more than I did. See, that in my case, like, that's like a perfect example of a wasted precision ball. It's like you use a precision ball, but I was closer with the KM. Oh, this fun hole. Okay, well, I haven't messed this up yet. So let's try to keep that trend going. I say that so I'm hopefully a little bit proactive and I actually do good conscious decisions. I did switch my bag, right? I need to double check that. I think I came prepared for cat. But sometimes I'm not mentally there when I'm actually doing it. I'm just like rehearsing through my brain. Just like going through the motions. How many we got? We got 31 in here. Thanks, guys, for showing up and supporting the stream. Definitely like seeing you guys in here, and for everybody who comes into the chat and just kind of checks in, appreciate that. I mean, because that's, if there's 30 people here, 20 of them have, you know, at least checked into the chat. That's pretty good participation rate. You know, even if you just drop a hi, you know, that's cool. Appreciate it. That looks pretty good. I would take that drive and just run with it, because I'm worried I can do something moronic here. So I'd rather just have that shot in the bag and just be done with it. I'm going to go 8.5 rings, which is about max. Straight up max. Probably going to hit the tree. Oh, geez. Oh, my God. Whew. That hit the rough, didn't it? Oh. Let's see if that curls under the tree. That was like 2 rings. Like that was bad, and that was purely me too. That's the worst part, because I know I did it. I just released super early for some reason. I think it's because I hit the tree on the front 9. So now I got to hope that this curls underneath the tree and just that the tree isn't in the way. It's pretty much my only success here. And it really, I think I clipped the rough there by about 0.1 rings too. It was such a small amount. So if I would have just went just a hair more, that second bounce would have been fairway. It does not get under there. This is probably the worst possible leave, because I don't even think I can hook slice around this. I think I can. Maybe. Annoying. This was such a bad shot. It's crazy. Ah, I should have probably counted. My own stupidity. I was just kind of winging it. I was like, I'm hoping that like, my thought was there's no way it's ever going to get over left enough. And I probably shouldn't have used that logic. I should have just counted. I was like, there's no way this will ever make it left enough. And then sure enough, I'm way left. Like, not even close. 50, 25. Of course, I didn't prep. 17% maybe. Should have prepared this already. The biggest issue is especially from the sand, I never catch perfects, so it's probably guaranteed to miss. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe that says perfect. Sure enough, there it is. That's how you draw up the most ridiculous eagle of all time. What's up, Ian? Golf Clash Johnny. We somehow managed to save the eagle there. I played that hole probably as horribly as I've ever played anything because I was just like, from that shot, I was just like, the second shot, I just shouldn't have been that short-sighted because that's not the typical me. Like I felt like there's no way this is ever going to get left enough, and I totally got left enough. So I should have just counted and did the precision, like, because that's just how my brain works. Is I usually do the precision thing, especially if I'm still trying to save the rounds, so to speak. Another tough wind. I would have really liked to have seen something a little bit more interesting for this hole specifically. I like being able to go a little bit aggressive, you know, at least make people question, can I get across, do something cool? And this just feels a little boring. That looks pretty good. I usually play. Ooh! He ran it through. Surprised to see that, especially with a katana. I wouldn't have even thought that would be possible. I am not going to play it over there. Uh, I'd like to get over here. I'm going to play this around here, right at max, which is probably like 8 rings plus maybe 8-3 or something. It's kind of max plus 0. Oh, force great left. Thank you. Appreciate that. Don't believe this is going to hold on, but let's see if it does. Nope. And that was totally force great. No question about it. Absolutely 0% chance that I did not hit perfect ball there with my timing. The joke is on them, though, because I do not mind being in the rough, especially on this hole. I think it's just as makeable, really. Eight two. This is 50, 60, I don't know, 64, 65, somewhere in there. Should need some offset, I think. Ah, that was me. Late. Trying to get that perfect ball. It's definitely going to miss out to the left. Ugh. I was so worried that I was going to release, and it was going to do what it did off the tee, which is just kind of jump over, that I kind of intentionally tried to avoid being too early, because that's my typical go-to. Is like, I feel like it makes you freak out a little bit, so you release a little early and then it literally shows early. So I tried to, like, I delayed just a little too, trying to get for that perfect too much to compensate for my typical early release after seeing great left. Oh well. 3 holes. Let's see if we can get at least one shot. I'd really like to get this one. I think this is a decent wind angle. It's a lot easier than the front was. Sniper. Sniper max, maybe? Just straight up max. No elevation. Thanks, Ryan. Not too bad. Not too bad considering, this is definitely my first tournament of 2023. Probably was, and the last one I finished. We'd have to go to the tournament banners to figure that out, because I know that there's probably the last 4 or 5 I haven't finished that I actually played. So we're going back to probably September, August, the last time I finished a tournament. So not too bad considering. But with that being said, I'm still very much a hack. Okay, this is what I'm going with. Each 7. Is it too much? Maybe. I'm going to go 8-4. Ah. I'm actually a little surprised that that is on the left of the hole. I feel like I shouldn't be, but I am surprised. I was not planning on going more than that, let me tell you that. Maybe the rings, but I don't know if I would have went 0.3 more rings, I don't think that would have made the shot. I needed to offset more if I was going to go that ring count. But it was so close to min club. That's why. So a lot of times you'll see me offset a bunch. In that case, I offset a little bit. And the reason being, I'm so close to min club. It's less time in the air, less wind impact, less deflection of the ball guide. That's why I underdid that there. That looks pretty decent. Nope, still to the left. Whew. Even 3 accounts, like, to me, that's like, kudos to you guys, like, to be able to do 3 accounts, like, especially for years. Like, it just gets so exhausting to me. And I really dislike the repetitive nature of this game as well. Like, it's just not for me. Let's just simply put the best way. Like, I have enough trouble getting through one of these. So, like, kudos to you guys for having, the concentration and mentality to be able to do this 4 times, 5 times, 6 times. Like, it is crazy to even, think about for me. So I feel like a globe is better than a berserker for this hole. I'm going to judge the wind. We're definitely going hook slice. I hate this hole. We're definitely going hook slice for sure. Pass or fail, doesn't matter. I'd rather be in the rough anyway. But I am going to play the wind. I'm going to do this the smart way. Make sure that the wind is high enough. I don't want to see a 9. Don't give me any of that crap. Okay, I can work with that. That's literally like 13.9 or something. That's like, this is pushing the highest they could have gave me. I have no idea what I'm doing other than a little bit of a strategic guess here. I'll tell you the biggest thing that I could benefit from a globe here would be the side spin. The extra side spin I know I could use. It's 15, there's 20. I think I'm gonna land in the rough, but I want to play it aggressive. So, oh well. Up, I'm not landing in the rough. I thought that was aggressive and it wasn't. Just think sometimes my vision of what the where the shot is going to play out to, it just lands longer than I expect it to. We can still make this from here, I am positive. So I'm not too worried about being here. It's 50%, 25, 37-ish. Wow, look at that funnel. That is sick. That's the reason that guy my opponent, that's the reason his ball went and did what it did last time. It's like it's just a straight funnel. No matter where you hit on it, it seems to just go the same direction. .1. Actually, it's a little uphill, so a little, maybe slight underpull. Oh, really? Still went in. That's how big the funnel is. Like, that's just sick. There's just no way that great ball should have went in. That funnel back there is just sick. Like like everywhere back there was just the same shot view into the cup. So if you can get that guide or get like, to me, this is maybe just a little bit high. Like, I don't know if I would go this high on so mine was a little bit more shallow. And this reminds me of my opponent that I was playing that one time where he slammed the pin on the way back down, where you just, you don't necessarily want it to be that high. That's a little lower there, but not quite the right rings. Stuart, I imagine it has to be true. Like I can't believe the amount of accounts people do play. Like, I feel like after a while you just have to get burnt out. And I look at thank you for this win. This is like, this should be an eagle. How did I do this last time? Was it I think it was a KM. This is similar to hole 9. Or what, was it 9? No, 18. I forget. This is similar to the opening. I forget how I did this shot though. I think it was KM ball. I'll know once I see it. I just don't remember. I'll tell you, this is probably a pretty good way to play it too, which is basically just blast it into the rough, topspin onto the fairway. There's no way this guy's trying to hit the fairway, right? I don't think so. Or is he? I have no clue. I don't know what I'm looking at. I feel like this is straight rough. And I would have went full overpower exactly on the line that he did. You can get to that fairway with something small, like a Titan ball. So I don't know what he was doing there. Not sure. I literally think this is getting there though, so I'm not going to switch back to Titan. Oh no. I know this is right. Is it too right? Roll in. Whew. Hung on by an inch. And this is just where my course knowledge just lets me. I mean, so on hole 18, it was probably the last time I played this shot since, who knows, 2020, like 2019, like something ridiculous. So it's like I just underestimate how much the curl and everything just kind of lands right. I couldn't convince myself to go any lefter than I did. Is this going to be what, full backspin? This should be a guaranteed eagle. I really messed up if it's not. Don't be early. That should be good because that's late, which should be good. Late was safe. Yeah, right? Quad 4, 6 counts plus practicing. Like, that's insane. I feel like a lot of it, isn't guides like the new thing though? Like, isn't most people using some form of guides? Whether it's an iteration of Tommy or Fenzel or someone else. Somebody from their clan is using some iteration. Like that's, or at least that's the view that I had when I was playing through with my clan back in the day, is we just all be using some version of somebody else's found shot, basically. Which I'm totally fine with. Like, I think that, but it just, like, for me, it's like it's just kind of one of those things where it just gets too repetitive and it's just not my cup of tea. That's all. But I get in this situation where it's like, okay, so I have there's one of two things I can do. I can either just hack it up with my own shots, which is kind of like what I did here, or I could use iterations of somebody else's and maybe shoot a minus 30 potentially. And maybe it's more helpful to you guys if I do that. So it's like, I'm kind of torn at times. It's either I do my own thing and shoot around this, or maybe I get a couple extra drops using clan shots, somebody else's started foundation, because I'm not going to go through 3 or 4 counts to to get my score better or to make more quality guides. Like it's too time consuming. I can't do it anymore. But all things considered, that's 227s for me. Decent. It's not overly impressive by any means. I'm glad that you guys showed up and were able to check this out. We just had some fun, just kind of hacking it up. Maybe this holds for a top 10 and we get 50 balls. So if that happens, I get my balls back because I used 45. So I barely break even on KMs. And that's probably, if that happens, the first time that I've done that since coming back and doing content for you guys. So that's a pretty good achievement in itself. But anyway, thanks guys for showing up, and appreciate you guys being here. And hopefully you guys have good weekend rounds. I'm sure that, don't use my shots by any means, but they at least give you, at least something to think about, considering, especially if you're playing tour play. I think there's a lot of great logic there, to make stuff like that a little bit better. But best of luck out there. Take care, guys, and see you guys next time.